Hello students, welcome to CAT by Supergrads. In Algebra for CAT series, today we are going to discuss concepts and questions based on modulus. In CAT, in every slot, I have seen at least one or two questions from modulus each year. तो इस हिसाब से मॉडुलस काफी इंपॉर्टेंट हुआ है ना। अगर आप चाहें तो आप अलजेब्रा के और भी टॉपिक्स के वीडियोस चेक कर सकते हैं हमारे अलजेब्रा फॉर कैट प्लेलिस्ट में। और आने वाले समय में हम हर टॉपिक के वीडियोस अपलोड करेंगे। So just subscribe the channel and like the videos. Share it with your friends who are preparing for CAT. Now let's move forward to understanding the modulus. So in case of modulus, what we say, modulus is denoted by mod of x. And mod of x is equal to x when x is greater than equal to 0, and this is equal to minus x when x is less than 0. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम क्या कह सकते हैं, मॉड ऑफ x की जगह अगर मॉड ऑफ 7 ले, so as 7 is greater than 0, this will be straight away 7. But if we take minus 7, so this will be minus of minus 7, which will make it 7. So कोई भी expression है, this is how we solve. Like let's say mod of x minus 2 is equal to 5. So how do we solve it? We will have to consider two cases. Case 1, where we take x is greater than equal to 2. In that case, x minus 2 will be greater than equal to 0, right? So यहाँ पे ये जो mod of x minus 2 है, this x minus 2 becomes positive. So we can straight away take it as x minus 2 is equal to 5, or we can say x is equal to 7. But second case अगर हम बात करें, second case we will have to take x is less than 2. In that case, x minus 2 will be less than 0. So whenever an expression inside modulus becomes negative, we take negative of that part. So we will have to take minus of x minus 2 is equal to 5, or we can say x minus 2 is equal to minus 5, or x is equal to minus 3. That is the reason when we have an expression something like mod of x minus a is equal to b, we can say that x minus a is equal to plus minus b. Okay. Or from here, we can say x is equal to, so a plus b, or x is equal to a minus b. तो ये स्टेप जो हम लेते हैं वो डायरेक्ट लेने के बजाय ये केसेस से सॉल्व होते हैं, बट हाँ वी कैन यूज इट डायरेक्टली. बट अगर थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सा एक्सप्रेशन है, देन वी विल हैव टू एज्यूम केसेस वन बाय वन फॉर एक्सप्रेशन इनसाइड द एक्सप्रेशन, इनसाइड द मॉडुलस. अगर वो एक बार पॉजिटिव है तो क्या रेंज आ रही है एक्स की, अगर वो नेगेटिव है तो क्या रेंज आ रही है एक्स की, उसके रिस्पेक्टिव से सॉल्व करके देन वी विल फाइंड आउट द वैल्यूज. सो बी केयरफुल अबाउट दैट. नाउ अगर हम बात करें इनइक्वालिटीज की, सो इफ mod of x is greater than equal to a, then we can say that x will be less than equal to minus a, and x will be greater than equal to a. Now remember that a is positive here, right? Because we are considering it to modulus. Now if it says mod of x is less than a, then a will be greater than minus x and less than a. इस पे एक दो एग्जांपल्स ले सकते हैं हम. लेट्स से क्वेश्चन इज फाइंड x for mod of x is greater than equal to 3. So what we can say straight away that x will be less than equal to minus 3, and x will be, well, x will be less than equal to minus 3, or x will be greater than equal to 3. This should be or. Only one value will be true at one time. Now, if we take another example like find x for mod of x is less than 3. So what we can say that x will be greater than minus 3 and less than. Same can be used, same method can be used for expressions which are not only x, something else is involved. ठीक है. Now let's talk a little bit about graph of mod of x. So what is mod of x graph? It's a straight away of V-shaped like this. This is graph of, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. So this is graph of mod of x. Now if I want to find y is equal to mod of x minus 2, then what will happen? Then our graph will go 2 unit down like this. This will be minus 2. So for every value of x, now the y will be 2 lesser with respect to this. So the graph will go 2 unit down. If you take y is equal to mod of x plus 3, then what will happen in that case? The graph will go 3 unit up like this. This will be 3. So these are the basic graphs related to mod of x. जब हम ग्राफ की बात कर रहे हैं तो लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द graphical meaning of modulus. So whenever we talk about y is equal to mod of x, and let's say mod of x is equal to 3. So basically we are talking about 2 points on number line, x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 3. But what if we are talking about y is equal to mod of x minus 3 mod, y is equal to mod of x minus 3. This represents the distance between x and 3 on the number line. This represents, if this is 3, then x could be this side or x could be this side. This denotes the distance between x minus 3 is equal to, mod of x minus 3 denotes the distance between x and 3. That's why when we denote if this is equal to 2, that means what are the values of x from which the distance between x and 3 will be 2. So either we can take x is equal to 5 or we can take x is equal to 1. In both the cases, you can see the distance between 3 and x is 2. So what if we talk about y is equal to mod of x minus 1 plus mod of x minus 5? What does that mean? It means that take the two critical points, which is 1 and 5. So the distance between x and 1, let's say this is d1, and x and 5, let's say this is d2, then y represents d1 plus d2. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? If you check any value of x, which is 1 and 5, you will always get the same value of y. If you take 1, this will become 5. 1 minus 1, 0. 1 minus 5, minus 4. Mod of minus 4 is 4. So the distance, if you take any value, x, if you take any value anywhere between 1 and 5, so this distance plus this distance will become 4. So all the values of x between 1 to 5 will give an outcome 4, or the y will be equal to 4 when you take x is equal to any value from 1 to 5. But as soon as we are increasing the value of 5, the value of y will increase. And similarly, if as soon as you go left of 1 or decreasing the value of x, okay, from 1, then again it will go positive. So this is the graph of a typical mod of x minus a plus mod of x minus b. And again, this denotes the sum of distances of x from a and from b. Now, in this case, the minimum, whenever we are talking about where we are getting minimum of y, that will always, when x is between a to b. Here we are taking a less than b. And after b, you get increasing value of, before a, you get increasing value of y. So अगर हम कंसीडर करें यहाँ पे कुछ भी वैल्यू, लेट्स से ये अगर 4 है तो ये आ रहा है, बट अगर 5 के बाद कोई वैल्यू लेते हैं तो ये 4 से ज्यादा आएगा y. तो 4 से ज्यादा कुछ भी वैल्यू अगर हम y की कंसीडर करें तो आप देख सकते हो दिस इज आवर y एक्सिस. तो अगर हम बोले कि ये 5 कब आएगा, ये ग्राफ 5 कब आएगा, तो यहाँ पे x की इस वैल्यू के लिए आएगा और x की इस वैल्यू के लिए आएगा. 6 कब आएगा, तो x की इस वैल्यू के लिए आएगा और x की इस वैल्यू के लिए आएगा. तो मिनिमम के अलावा जो भी वैल्यू है उसके लिए हमेशा दो सॉल्यूशन होंगे एग्जैक्टली exactly. पर जहां पे ये मिनिमम है वहां पे इनफाइनाइट सॉल्यूशन होंगे। मतलब अगर मैं बात करूं मॉड ऑफ एक्स माइनस वन प्लस मॉड ऑफ एक्स माइनस फाइव इज इक्वल टू फोर, हाउ मेनी वैल्यूज ऑफ एक्स आर पॉसिबल? So infinite values of x are possible here. You can take any value of x from 1 to 5, you will always get 4. But if I talk for how many values of x, mod of x plus, minus 1 plus mod of x minus 5 will be equal to 5. So there will be exactly two value of x. If you take 6, 6.5, 6.1, 7.3, 1001, you will always get exactly two values of x which will satisfy this condition. But if you take talking about minimum, whenever we are talking about minimum, it will have infinite solution. Or whenever we are talking about infinite solution for something like x minus a plus x minus b is equal to c has infinite solutions, that means we are talking about x being between a to b when x is between a to b. This has infinite solution only when this is true. Now I'm discussing this particular graph because if you try solving CAT previous year questions on modulus, you will see that this graph has been used more than often. Okay. So now let's try discussing few CAT previous year questions. Since for all real numbers x, the condition this plus this is equal to 20 necessarily holds if. So again, what we are talking about here is if we check this, we can say this will be 3 times x minus 20 by 3 plus x minus 40 by 3 is equal to 20, or we can say mod of x minus 20 by 3 plus x minus 40 by 3 is equal to 20 by 3. So basically what we learned right now is we need to find for what values of x the distance between x and 20 by 3 plus the distance between x and 40 by 3 should be 20 by 3. So what we are going to do, we are going to take these critical points which are 20 by 3 and 40 by 3. Now check the distance between these 2 points. 20 by 3, 40 by 3, the difference is 20 by 3. This is what we want. That means if I take any value of x between 20 by 3 and 40 by 3, it will always be sum of these two distances will always be 20 by 3. But if you take any value of x which is bigger than 40 by 3 or lesser than 20 by 3, this expression will always be more than 20, right? Or the distance of x from this and this will always be 20 by 3. So what we can say here that x will lie between 20 by 3 and 40 by 3. Now check the options. A is x is between 6 to 11. That is not true. That is not entirely true because all the values of x which are between 6 and 20 by 3 is not applicable here. But if we check option B, which is 7 to 12, 40 by 3 is 13.33. 20 by 3 is 6.66. So x is between 6.66 to 13.3. And this range of x comes within that range. So that is true. Option C is not true because again, some values of x are not applicable here. Some values of x are not applicable here. So answer is option B. Next question from CAT 2022. It says the largest real value of x for which this has an infinite number of solutions. See, I told you guys that when we are drawing the graph of these type of expression, now if a is, let's say this is minus a, this will become 1, or we can take this is 1 and this is minus a. So in both the cases, the graph will be looking like something like this. है ना? So for each value of this expression, we get exactly two values of x, right? Only except when we take x between this. If you take x between minus a to 1, or in this case 1 to minus a, you will always get the same values. Means we have infinite number of values for x for which we are getting the same value, and in this question that value is 2. So what we need to check, we can check either putting minus a here, or we can check by putting 1 here. So let's, if we put minus a, this becomes 0. We don't have much to solve. So let's put x is equal to 1 here. If you put x is equal to 1, this will become 1 plus a plus 0 is equal to 2. Or we can say 1 plus a is equal to plus minus 2. From there, we can say a is equal to 1 or a is equal to minus 3. So we have two different values of x. A will be equal to either 1 or a will be equal to either minus 3, right? So question is which of these, you know, is largest real value of a? Which of these is largest? So from 1 and minus 3, 1 is the largest. The answer is option C. तो आप देख सकते हो कि ग्राफ को समझना कितने इजी तरीके से क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करने में हमारी हेल्प करता है ना? Now, again, the third question, it says the number of integers n that satisfy the inequality n minus 60 mod less than n minus 100 mod, which is less than n minus 20 mod. So we have 60, we have 100. So n minus 60 mod is nothing but the distance between n and 60, right? And n minus 100 mod is nothing but the distance between 100 and n. So we should be taking values of n where the distance between 60 to n is less than the distance between n to 100. So what we can do? See, as we get close to 60, the distance between 60 and n will be lesser than the distance between 100 and n. In between, there is 80. At if you put n is equal to 80, these two distances will become equal. This is 20 and this is also 20. But as soon as now we try to move to 60 and beyond that, you will see that the distance between n and 60 is lesser than n and 100, है ना? कोई भी चीज अगर हम यहां से इधर लेके जाएं तो 60 और इसके बीच का डिस्टेंस 100 से तो छोटा ही होगा. तो हम क्या कह सकते हैं, in that case n is less than 80. And similarly, if we use this inequality where we are taking 20 and 100, so the distance of n from 100 should be less than the distance of n from 20. So definitely n should be towards 100. And what's the middle point? So 100 plus 20 by 2, 60 is the middle point. At 60, the distance, if we take n is equal to 60, the distance from 20 is 40, the distance from 100 is 40. Now, which side would we should go to satisfy this inequality? Definitely towards 100. If you move towards 100, so all the values of n that we take more than 60 will result in satisfying this inequality. In that case, the distance between n and 100 will be lesser than the distance between 2 and 20 and n. So in that case, we can say n should be greater than 60. So taking this inequality and this inequality, we are getting n should be greater than 60 and less than 80. So what we can say, n will be equal to 61, 62 up to 79. Why do we have taken this? Because it says the number of integers n. So we are only talking about integers. कितने integers value होंगे? 19. Answer is option D. All right. Now, fourth question, it says the number of integer solutions of the equation this. Now, this question is a little bit different, है ना? जो अभी तक हमने किया है. तो जैसा मैंने बताया था, जब भी मॉड की बात हो तो हम बात करेंगे एक्सप्रेशन पॉजिटिव है या नेगेटिव है। तो मॉड ऑफ एक्स की बात करें हम, तो हमें दो केस कंसीडर करने पड़ेंगे। वंस एक्स इज ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू जीरो, so mod of x will become x. In that case, this equation will be equal to 2x into x square plus 1 into x square plus 1 is equal to 5x square. Now, if we solve this, take x common, this will become 2x square. This will become minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Or we can write it as this will be 2x minus 1 into x minus 2 is equal to 0, or as product of three expression is 0, so at least one of them should be equal to 0. So x is equal to 0, or we can say x is equal to 1 by 2, or we can say x is equal to 2. So these are the results that we are getting from first case. Now, in the second case, if we take x is less than 0, what will happen? Mod of x will become minus x. In that case, this expression will become minus 2x into x square plus 1, which is equal to 5x square. Again, take it right side. This will become 5x square plus 2x into x square plus 1 is equal to 0. Let's take x common. We get 2x square plus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now, this can be factorized as x into 2x plus 1 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. So, we are getting x is equal to 0, or x is equal to minus 1 by 2, or x is equal to minus 2. The question is, check the questions. It says the number of integer solutions. So, what are the integer values? X is equal to 0, x is equal to 2. Here, we don't need to take it as we have taken it already. We don't need to take it, but we will have to take it. So there are three values of x. So answer is 3. All right. Now, let's try one more question. और ये बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है, काफी मजेदार क्वेश्चन, मॉड्यूलस और क्वाड्रेटिक का मिक्सचर. So let's try to understand. It says if r is a constant such that x square minus 4x minus 13 mod is equal to r has exactly three distinct real roots, then the real value of r is. तो देखो इसे हम ब्रेक करके क्या लिख सकते हैं, that x square minus 4x minus 13 is equal to plus minus r. तो इसे ब्रेक करके लिख सकते हैं this is equal to r, or we can say x square minus 4x minus 13 is equal to minus r, or we can say x square minus 4x minus 13 plus r is equal to 0, or x square minus 4x, now this will be equal to minus 13 minus r is equal to 0. Now see, we have two quadratic equation, और quadratic equation में क्या होता है, दो रूट्स होते हैं. वो दो रूट्स कैसे होते हैं, या तो दोनों रियल होंगे या दोनों इमेजिनरी होंगे. तो अगर हम यहाँ पे कंसीडर करें कि इसके दो रियल रूट हैं, इसके भी दो रियल रूट हैं, तो चार रियल रूट होंगे. या फिर अगर हम कंसीडर करें दो रियल रूट हैं, दो इमेजिनरी हैं, तो भी ये थ्री रूट्स तो नहीं आते. दोनों के दोनों में दो दो इमेजिनरी होंगे तो वो ट्रू नहीं होगा. तो थ्री कैसे आएंगे भाई, ये सोचने वाली बात है. तो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन में कभी एग्जैक्टली वन रूट आता है क्या? आता है. कब आता है? व्हेन बोथ द रूट्स आर इक्वल. जब दोनों रूट्स इक्वल हैं वो, जब दोनों रूट्स इक्वल कब होते हैं, जब डिस्क्रिमिनेंट जीरो हो जाता है. या फिर हम कह सकते हैं कि अगर आप किसी क्वाड्रेटिक एक्सप्रेशन को x माइनस ए स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू जीरो से कंपेयर करो, लाइक इफ यू आर एबल टू मेक इट अ परफेक्ट स्क्वायर, तब उसके एक रूट आते हैं. इसका मतलब है कि इनमें से किसी एक एक्सप्रेशन से दो रियल रूट आएंगे और कोई एक एक्सप्रेशन परफेक्ट स्क्वायर बनाएगा। तो अगर परफेक्ट स्क्वायर हम बनाते हैं तो किसी एक को बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो अगर इसे परफेक्ट स्क्वायर बनाना चाहे तो दिस विल बी 2 into 2 into x। तो यहाँ पे +4 होना चाहिए ना भाई, तब तो इसके एक ही रूट होंगे। तो इसके लिए +4 अगर बनाना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा, -13 + r शुड बी इक्वल टू 4 और 13 + r शुड बी इक्वल टू -4। और अच्छा यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा, 13 + r अगर हम ले रहे हैं तो ये r इज इक्वल टू कितना आ जाएगा, -r = 17 आ जाएगा। तो -r = 17 है ना। अगर हम यहाँ पे 17 रखें, -r = 17, तो ये माइनस और माइनस प्लस, देखो इट डजेंट मेक सेंस यहाँ पे। ये वैल्यू हमें 4 लानी थी, तभी जाके ये एक परफेक्ट स्क्वायर बनेगा ना। x - 2 होल स्क्वायर = 0, x की वैल्यू 2 निकल के आएगी, राइट। तो दिक्कत कहां पे हो रही है, ये वैल्यू अगर r की वैल्यू -17 आ रही है तो ऑप्शन में भी नहीं है। और r की वैल्यू अगर हम यहाँ -17 रखते हैं तो ये -4 आ जाएगा, विच इज नॉट नॉट मेकिंग सेंस। तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, इसकी जगह पे इसी कोशिश कर सकते हैं बनाने की कि -13 - r = 4। तो यहां से 13 - r विल बी इक्वल टू -4 और r = 17। अगर हम r = 17 रखते हैं तो दिस एक्सप्रेशन विल बी परफेक्ट स्क्वायर, x² - 4x + 4 = 0। और ये एक एक्सप्रेशन आएगा जिसके रियल रूट्स आएंगे। तो दो रूट्स यहां से और एक रूट्स यहां से, टोटल 3 रूट्स, एंड ऑल ऑफ देम आर डिस्टिंक्ट, हेंस ऑप्शन सी इज ट्रू। अब देखो, ये तो है इसका बेसिक मेथड सॉल्व करने का, लेकिन इस क्वेश्चन का एक माइंड ब्लोइंग सॉल्यूशन है जो कि सॉल्व होता है ग्राफ्स के थ्रू। अगर हम किसी एक, अगर हम कंसीडर करें x² - 4x - 13 के ग्राफ को, so as discriminant is positive, the graph of this expression will be something like this। ऐसा कुछ होगा, बट वी आर टेकिंग मॉड ऑफ दिस। अगर हमने यहाँ पे मॉड लिया है तो ये ग्राफ ऐसा ना होके क्या बन जाएगा, तो जो नेगेटिव पोर्शन था हमें उसे पॉजिटिव बनाने की जरूरत है, एंड इट विल बी समथिंग लाइक दिस। ऐसा हो जाएगा, दिस विल बी द ग्राफ ऑफ x² - 4x - 13 मॉड। अब ये कह रहा है दिस हैज बीन इक्वेटेड बाय r, सो y = r। कुछ ऐसा होना चाहिए कि इसके एग्जैक्टली 3 डिस्टिंक्ट रियल रूट्स हों और y = r इसे 3 जगह पे कट करें। तो देखो, अगर हम r इसके टॉप पॉइंट से नीचे लेते हैं तो 4 जगह कट करेगा, ऊपर लेते हैं तो 2 ही जगह कट करेगा। अगर हम 3 जगह कट करने की बात कर रहे हैं तो ये तभी पॉसिबल है जब ये यहां से होके जाए। और ये पॉइंट क्या है, ये पॉइंट वैसा है जहां पे हम -b/2a, x की वैल्यू यहाँ पे क्या होती है, -b/2a, और ये जो एक्सप्रेशन होता है ये इसकी मिनिमम वैल्यू देता है। लेकिन मॉड लेने पे अब मिनिमम नहीं रहा, है ना। पहले x² - 4x - 13 की मिनिमम वैल्यू थी ये, बट हमने उसे रिवर्स कर दिया। बट ये मिलेगा कहां पे, x = -b/2a पे। तो ये हमें r मिलेगा जब, अच्छा यहाँ -b/2a रखो, देखो क्या आएगा। अगर हम -b/2a रखें, -b/2a = -4 + 2 which is equal to 2। x की वैल्यू 2 रख दो यहाँ पे, क्या आता है ये, तो 4 - 8 - 13 mod which is equal to mod of -17 which is equal to 70। तो ये जो वैल्यू है वो क्या है, ये जो वैल्यू आएगी, ये अगर ऐसा होता तो ये इसकी मिनिमम वैल्यू होती, -17 इसकी मिनिमम वैल्यू होती। बट ऐसे हमने रिवर्स कर दिया है, तो अब ये वैल्यू 17 हमारे काम की आ गई है, जहां पे y = r 3 बार इस ग्राफ को कट कर रहे हैं। तो स्ट्रेट अवे इसका आंसर क्या हो गया, सी 70. So that was the end of the session on modulus. I hope you enjoyed it and understood every part of it. If you have any kind of doubts, then let me know in the comments. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.